Okay. Well, I wanted to record this video on another game I played. This will be another short video on a particular concept that I found interesting from my games recently. And this is where it's turn 8. It's 2 points from victory. Helm's Deep. Looks a little dubious. I've got some guys out in Dimroll Dale trying to threaten a Free People's military victory. That sounds probably equally dubious. No, more so. And we draw our cards. Yeah, I've got some decent cards here. And, you're all excited because you made it far enough in Mordor in time. And then you roll this. And he only needs 2 points. Dale is kind of strong. Not kind of strong. For not being at war, Dale is quite strong. Shire's undefended. North is not at war, so I'm not going to get to muster easily. Edoras is open, but there's an army in Weston that's small. And Rohan is at war, so that's spicy. But the point of this video is one of these turns where you just have to hang on, even though, honestly, when I rolled that, I was like, I'm just going to resign. I mean, it's like seemingly no way to hold him back from getting 2 points a bunch of different ways here. Even from Erebor into Dale is probably fine. You're 5-5 against 3-1, even with the benefit of getting the first round on 6s. So, yeah, don't resign. Make your opponent prove it. Make the dice prove it. That's the theme of this video. Don't resign. Hang on there so the game can reward you if you show some perseverance and make your opponent and the dice prove that they're both there. So I complain a little bit because he got a lot of attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attacks. And 2 Palantirs. I don't remember at this point if he already had spent all of his Palantir attack cards. He had already used Grand, but I don't think I had seen... No, I had not yet seen Ring Wraiths or Abroad or Black Captain Command. So potentially this is many attacks. I move another unit from... I move from Oscillithan to Pelgir, which brings the Hobbit, and I get the other guy into Dale to try to make the some of the easier options a little more difficult and basically force him to prove it in Helm's Deep. He brings up another army to attack. To attack Pell, which makes sense to me. And then Gorgoroth to Minas Morgul, I guess, what else to do with that, and that's good. You can, mosey that army over too. So that makes sense to me. I put a reg in Pelargir and a reg in Westernet, trying to threaten help unlooked for, or just generally trying to hit Helm's Deep before he gets a chance to take it. He draws a strategy card. That makes sense to me. He attacks Dale. I don't know. He's a better player than me, but that one seemed a little strange to me at the time. Still feels a little strange, but I don't know what his combat cards are. He had Onslaught. Okay. I guess that makes this... This just seems kind of risky. I do have a ring, so if it's a total disaster, kind of like you saw in my last video, if it's a total disaster and I get a bunch of hits, I could potentially counterattack, or even if it just he just ends up with like 1 or 2 left there, I can go try to recap Woodland Realm. He gets 2 hits. I get 3 hits, and I use the Heroic Death, I assume. Yeah. So he has to stop there for obvious reasons. I pass because I'm feeling a little anxious about trying to attack Woodland Realm with no leadership and no elites. He plays Ring Wraiths or Abroad, like I mentioned I hadn't seen earlier, so that makes sense. Gets the Witch King over to try to clean up Helm's Deep. I play Brave Stand. against a Relentless Assault. That's a decent. Oh, yeah, that's right. So we had played a game earlier where I had a companion in Helm's Deep, and then I just like in my head there was still one there, so I had to take that. I had to take that back. He still went 0 hits on Relentless Assault, which he came to regret on the subsequent roll, and I got 3 back, so I was feeling pretty happy about that. I decided to attack Helm's Deep to try to see if I could get the Witch King out of the game, and I played Valor, and I only got 2 hits. Yeah, that's probably a little good. This feels very greedy in retrospect. When I could have like reinforced Pell a little more or something. And I didn't move them in because I didn't want him to just be able to sweep around and scoop Edoras. And have to burn a ring to muster into it, or but maybe I don't know. Maybe it would have been worth it, and just let him go that way. Burn a ring, kill the Witch King. But I really want to move, and I want to play Bilbo's song. Well, I guess I'm waiting to play Bilbo. I want to move, and I probably want to draw a character card because I have 4 corruption before I'm dead. Maybe even just playing Bilbo's song this turn makes sense. I don't know. He does this, which he later in our post game discussion called a mistake, and I thought it was interesting too that he moved to the West Horondor. He moved to Nazgul and decided to attack from the West Horondor side. And I understand this. He was thinking that, again, if it's a disaster, I get 4 hits and he gets none, I can just get Dol Amroth back for free next turn. And I'm guessing there's still a decent amount in the Gondor pool's full, so that could really be a huge problem. So I understand this. But I don't know. It seems unlikely at this point that Shadow's going to win this turn. So, yeah, and this is where he talks about thinking maybe he should have done this a little differently with the Nazgul. So I pass. He attacks Pelargir from the Witch King. I didn't even notice it was the Witch King down there. Sometimes he gets a little hidden by the Nazgul. So now I play the Brave Stand that he already knows I've got. He gets a hit. I get 0. Huge bummer. I stay because it's, pretty much do or die here. He gets 1 hit, and I get 2. And he's got to stop. I decided to move the ring. I think that's reasonable. I would have preferred that it was 3 damage, honestly. He plays Shadow's Gather to make sure that next turn. He must have just drawn that, right? I mean, why would he Shadow's Gather and then attack Pell? He must have just drawn it. So, okay. I will go alone through a day and a night. He allocates. I get this awesome roll to dunk, and now the whole turn that I spent barely hanging on pays off. We talked about this in a previous video. You make your own luck in this. Oh, right. Hit a red tile. But anyways, as I was saying, my perseverance really. Oh, I hit another red tile and I lost. This game is stupid. I hate it. Goodbye.